When I die, I'll be sudden dead. We like to watch our wrestling every week on TV. And our favorite shows take place in Mayberry. They're just good old boys, good old boys, good old boys, good old boys. They're just good old boys. They're just good old boys. We got American flags flying in our yard, and every Saturday night we like to party hard. We got an old hound dog and a pickup truck. We like long-legged country girls that know how to fuck. They're just good old boys, good old boys, good old boys, good old boys. They're just good old boys. They're just good old boys. We got American flags flying in our yard, and every Saturday night we like to party hard. We got an old hound dog and a pickup truck. We like long-legged country girls that know how to fuck. They're just good old boys, good old boys, good old boys, good old boys. They're just good old boys. They're just good old boys. We love flying our flags where everyone can see, racing our cars like the boys of Hazard County, making our dads proud and our mamas smile. So pull up a chair and sit for a while. They're just good old boys, good old boys, good old boys, good old boys. They're just good old boys. They're just good old boys. We love flying our flags where everyone can see, racing our cars like the boys of Hazard County, making our dads proud and our mamas smile. So pull up a chair and sit for a while. They're just good old boys, good old boys, good old boys, good old boys. They're just good old boys. They're just good old boys.
Chosen one.
What's up, meatbags? It is the often imitated, never duplicated Chicano Stanley chosen one of CG. And of course, the Teflon Frog and the king of the motherfucking bog, Frog, motherfucking Tony. And we're kicking it off tonight with 10 gifted memberships. Guys, I felt like today's the day, right? Today's a good old day to go ahead and give some memberships, get people excited about the show. We got a brand new show. We're going to do some wrestling talk, wrestling with geeks. And we're mainly going to be focused on JCW because I'm a big Vince Russo guy. I don't know if you guys know this. I love Vinny Roo. I love Vinny Roo, bro. And I think he really did usher in the Attitude Era of WWE, which is one of the greatest eras in wrestling. And even though people don't like what he did in WCW, I actually did. I loved Vince Russo's crazy WCW style. I love the fact that he gave a lot of mid-carders things to do. He gave a lot of underappreciated talent some storylines, right? Not everything took off. Not everything was great.
Yeah.
But I think it was pretty good. So we're starting to show off. We're going to give 10 memberships. And we're going to do a lot of chit-chatting. So just sit back, relax, fill your ears with our lovely voices. And let me just say that right now we got Rin Juan, Rockman X222, Nick, Crusader Joe, Ellen the Chat, Stu K, Stunning and Brave Megatron, Billy Powermax, Chris Hall, Mighty Magic. Congratulations, you guys all got memberships. Jay Wu says, I'm here to make sure Tony has more than 16 viewers. I don't need any viewers. I don't think we're going to get anybody. Guys, we're not doing this show for viewers. This isn't like, hey, this was a highly requested thing. This is a, hey, I really love fucking wrestling. And Vince
We're
Russo
taking a break. Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
We were talking about before the
sure.
show. I was saying, I don't even think anybody's going to show up. I don't think any people in our audience really loves wrestling, except for maybe Beefy and Aaron. Right, but again, this is about us. Screw the algorithm. Screw the gods of YouTube. Screw all the things that we're supposed to do. And let's just have fun again. There was a time on this channel where we would just do and talk about the things that we wanted. We weren't looking to cater to an audience. We weren't looking to get people coming here with clickbait and stuff. And so today, tomorrow, because we're going to do some gaming tomorrow, we're going back to that style of content, right? And with that said, we've wasted enough time. We're not going to bog you down with hours and hours of preamble before getting into it. I watched JCW Lunacy. TJ, did you watch JCW this week?
I just did, yeah.
I know. I made sure you did. Also, Autoy Fanboy, I assured you also watched it, correct?
I did.
And I think for the three of us, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but I've never watched a JCW show before. I'm pretty sure you guys have never watched one before. And I'm also pretty sure all three of us have basically stepped away from wrestling, at least watching it on a regular basis. So this is like diving back in to the shallow end of the pool.
Fresh.
Right? So right off the bat, I enjoyed the show very much. What did you guys think?
Yeah, it was fun. Like I didn't think I'd ever watch wrestling again. Like I walked away after like the Attitude Era, basically. Like it trickled away after over a year or two. So it's been a while for me. Other than watching old matches on like Pluto TV, like when I first cut the cord, I watched a lot of old wrestling matches. But other than that, that's it.
When you say old wrestling, how old are we talking? We talking
It was
ACP?
Yeah, it was like old NWA matches, like the TNA and like all those. Like when WCW folded and merged, I should say, and like all those guys that didn't quite make the cut, in the new WWF, and it ended up in the NWA, and they kind of started their own show. And there's guys like Raven and Jeff Jarrett and those kind of guys. AJ Styles when he first started out.
Oh, so you were like early TNA era.
Yeah.
When you say old matches, I'm thinking like, and you say NWA, I'm thinking like
no.
Like WWF, things
not
like
Ric
that.
Flair
I love
back
those.
in the 80s. Yeah, no.
I'm talking like 70s. I'll watch some fucking Mid-South or WCCW any day of the week. Those two companies had some of the greatest wrestling of all time. So, I mean, Sting, you had Sting, you had Rick Steiner in MSW, right? In Mid-South. You had Ted DiBiase, you had the Junkyard Dog, you had the fabulous Freebirds. I mean, there was a who's who of wrestlers in Mid-South at one point. The fact that he tried to go national, turned it into the UWF, and then Bill Watts just failed when Vince stole all the talent. It's a sad, because Bill Watts, in my opinion, one of the greatest bookers of all time. I know some people think he's racist, and maybe Bill Watts is a little bit racist. Who knows? All I know is he was an excellent wrestling booker, and his style of storytelling and the way he booked shows, it's never been replicated, and that's a sad thing. See, Cosmic knows Cowboy is the GOAT. What about you, TJ? You haven't watched wrestling in a while, right? JCW, this is your first.
I don't even know who any of these people are. I mean, well, there are familiar faces, right? But one thing I like the most is during the match they actually explain who the hell they are, like as they're fighting. So you're like completely not clueless, and everybody has a memorable gimmick. Everybody has a distinct image, right? That's the best part. Like when I started watching WWE, like I went back, I couldn't tell who's who. Everybody looked the same. Everybody dressed the same. Everybody didn't have any gimmick at all. It was weird. And nobody would talk about them. And it's like, why the fuck am I watching exactly? But this is completely the opposite. Up jump, they're telling you the history of each person, what their gimmick is, why you should be afraid of this guy. We even had a bunch of zombies for some reason. Like we went from vampires to zombies now. That zombie is a gimmick.
And when TJ says zombies, guys, if you haven't watched JCW Lunacy, first off, it's free on YouTube. You can go on YouTube on the Psychopathic Records channel. Check it out. They got all the episodes there. You really don't need. It's like episode 63, I think, was last week's episode. But I'll tell you,
you really don't need to know anything. You don't even need to watch what happened before.
I was just gonna say that you don't need to watch any of the old episodes because there really wasn't any long-term storytelling or booking going on. It was more of a sort of thing. Vince Russo came in, and part of the thing is Vince Russo is going to now start booking the company and move it more towards a more, for lack of a better term, traditional wrestling style show. Because before, it was basically like the ICP and their buddies just fucking around, having a good time, just rolling around in the ring, making some noise and stuff. And in this show, you could still see some of that, and I'll talk about it when we get to it, right? But there was a lot to love on this show, and there was a lot to not like on this show, right? But I did like it. I enjoyed it overall. And I was thinking to myself, I said, do I enjoy JCW or do I just enjoy wrestling, right? Was it wrestling because I'm just a big wrestling fan, I'm a big mark, and that's why I like the show, or was it that it was actually enjoyable? And so I went and I watched Monday Night Raw right after I watched JCW Lunacy, and I said, I'm going to go watch Netflix Monday Night Raw, and I'm going to see, right, if it's just wrestling I like or if it's something about this show. And gentlemen, Monday Night Raw sucked ass. It was the drizzling shits, okay? It was fucking horrible. If you haven't watched fucking WWE in a while, save yourself, okay? I was telling you guys before the show, but literally, this is not an exaggeration, but literally there was 22 minutes of talking before the first match. 22 uninterrupted minutes of Triple H talking about how great John Cena is, and then John Cena talking about how great John Cena is. And then finally, at like the 20-minute mark, Dominic Mysterio comes out and he starts blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. He starts getting in Cena's face. So then they have an impromptu match 22 minutes into the show. And so I'm excited. We finally got a match. We got a match going. John Cena, Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title. And apparently Netflix has commercials. It's from my understanding, it is live streamed on Netflix, and then you could watch the replay, like video on demand. And even though the camera records the entire time, the video on demand still only gives you the show that was aired on the live stream. So if there was commercials, those commercials are just cut out, but you don't get anything that happened during the commercials. And so when the match starts, they cut to commercial, come back, and John Cena's in the corner, and the announcers are like, John Cena got attacked before the bell. And I'm thinking, that would have been something cool to see, right? That would have been, we don't even get to see the start of the fucking match because it was a commercial break, and then they decided to cut that out. And maybe when like Netflix first made this deal years ago, I could see them like still trying to adjust, but they know exactly when the commercial breaks are going to happen. They know they can time this. They can say, okay, in 23 minutes in, there'll be a commercial break. So we'll only go 20 minutes. Then we'll have the 2 minutes of commercials. Then we'll come back and start the match, right? Like you could plan this out. And so it is crazy to me that they would do that. JCW also had commercials, but luckily, and I think this is one of the benefits of being on YouTube, and one of the benefits of this style of presentation is JCW actually had the whole match. None of the matches were interrupted by commercials. It would be like match, right, then a commercial, then a segment, then a match, then a commercial, and repeated, right? So like you'd get the whole match. You get everything. You didn't miss a single moment of the action, which I really appreciated and I enjoyed.
I like how
BVP
the
says, I
commercials were
struggle
like,
to watch WWE. It sucks. It's stupidly predictable.
that too. Yep. You know exactly what the angle is. You know who the jobber is immediately, like without even guessing. But I was
So-
about to say, I love how clown coded the commercials were. Because a bunch of clowns run the show. Your commercials need to be clown coded.
So I actually took notes. I got notes on what happened on JCW. Look at that. Look at that. I'm prepared, guys, to talk about this because like I said, I really enjoyed the show. So the show opens up. We get the recap. So both shows open up with a recap, but this one, the recap was like a minute, maybe less. It was just like, hey, last week there was an investor, and everyone wanted to suck his dick, and that was the show. That was like the recap of what happened last week, right? And then we got Big Vito. So if you guys aren't aware, there's a thing on the indies, right? If you're not into the indie wrestling scene, let me explain something to you. On the indies, there was a guy who came up with a gimmick called Blue Cane. You might have heard of this, right? Blue Cane. And it's basically Kane from the WWF, his old ring gear, but then painted blue, right? It's like just a blue version of Kane. And I'm saying this to say this. From Blue Cane spawned a whole like family of Canes. You have the gay Cane, which is Gain. You have Candy Cane.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
It's like there are two Diesels. I remember that.
Yeah. Well, on the indies, there's like a whole there's a video you could watch on YouTube where it goes through like this whole list of all these like fake Canes, for lack of a better term. Well, one of them was a guy named Cocaine. Okay. And yes, Cocaine is in JCW. And so that's how the show opens. The show opens letting us know that the investor, who is Big Vito from WCW, right? Big Vito is very upset with Cocaine because he's like, hey, we can't have drug. And I love the way they play this up because he's like, hey, you trying to get me pinched? You trying to get the feds on this company?
Very mafia coded.
Moron. He's like, fuck, fired. And they're like, oh, you can't fire him. He's like, you know what? Get in the fucking ring. Get your ass beat by your partner. So right off the bat, we get Big Vito. And this segment goes by. It's not even, like I said, WWF, 22-minute segment before we get a match. This was like, I want to say 3 or 4 minutes, right? Big Vito goes in. He says his spiel. Boom, boom, boom. Cocaine now has to fight his tag partner, Stephen Flo. So that's the main event. They made the main event for the night. Stephen Flo, the grunge warrior himself.
That's right.
Straight out of the 90s.
That's my guy.
Gimmick.
I was very amused. Like this, even just this little opening segment with Big Vito and the way like they presented it and the way his character was and everything. I found it very amusing. Like I was like genuinely interested in like because Big Vito's not the greatest talker. He's not the greatest guy on the mic. Wasn't the greatest guy in the ring either. But like him doing this and the way they're building it up, and he's like really putting that thick, like Italian mafia accent on. Yeah, it worked perfectly. And I was already like, boom. I was in on the show. Like I watched that segment and I was like, boom, I gotta see the main event, right? I gotta see what happens. And then we get to the first match. Matt Cross versus Ninja Mac. All right. Now, this is where one of the issues I had with the show. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but we had Joe Dabrowski and Vita Scott were on the commentary. I think they did a shitty job.
Yeah, that's true. Especially in that match.
Well, I feel like in all the matches, like there was a level of non-excitement. Like they weren't really into the match. Like they were good at like explaining, like you said, like they would tell you things, but it just seemed like very matter-of-factly. Like they weren't like, oh my god, you hit him with a fucking pile driver. It was just like, oh, you hit him with a pile driver.
There's no JR energy. That's what you need.
Yeah. There was no JR energy. Even though the guy kind of looked like he could be like JR's like adopted son or something, right?
True.
Where's the coach? Doesn't he need a job?
Yeah, so like Timu JR, they weren't very excitable. Vita Scott, she has almost an annoying kind of voice, so I think the announcing team really needs step up. They got to step up their game, right? But this opening match, Matt Cross and Ninja Mac. My God, this guy's like a look. If you haven't seen this show, if you're just listening to us, and I know we got no visuals this week, but bear with us. But Ninja Mac has the body of fucking Sturgis, right? Like he's not in shape. Okay, so imagine, and I'm not even joking. Imagine a fat like Sturgis, but full body suit with a ninja costume. But then he was doing like fucking flips and shit. Like he was just standing, and then he would do like a flip. And I was like, oh my God, like the athleticism on this fat little Sturgis guy was fucking insane, right? Why are you talking about pro wrestling as if it's scripted? What are you saying right now? It's not scripted. It's still real to me, damn it.
That's right.
We're marks.
I am. I'm a mark. But I think this was a decent match. Good opener. Got me into it again. The atmosphere was good. I like the crowd was really into it. That was again, like if you're going to compare WWF to JCW, obviously the arena way better in WWF. Ring, I think the ring is bigger. Yes, just slightly better. The ring was bigger. Is obviously the WWE has a bigger ring. I think it's like a 36, and I think this one is a 24.
Yeah, it's noticeably small.
Yeah, it's a noticeably small ring. And then in JCW, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the venue or just they just want to get more people in there or whatever. But basically, the width of a person is all the space there is between the ring and the barricade in JCW.
Yeah.
So like, there's no fighting on the outside because there's literally is no outside. Like there's just enough room like to walk around the ring if you really needed to, but there's no like fighting outside, right?
Right.
But Matt Cross won. He won with this like little like he dove into the ropes and then like rebounded off. When I say dive, I mean he literally like head first into the ropes and then like bounced off and then hit like a fucking diamond cutter. It was insane, right?
That finisher is insane, yeah.
So, because I mean, if he misses the ropes or anything, like he just goes outside.
Yeah. I mean, he was a big beer gut guy too. I mean, he was really athletic. Like he could fly around pretty well.
So I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a pretty good opening. What do you think, TJ? What would you give that opening? What would you rate it?
I think I was still lighting up to it, and it's like, okay, so far so good. Let's see what else they're bringing,
Right.
It was the weakest, I'd say, among all the other matches. And then, like you said, the announcers didn't really do their job well at that, like especially at that point.
I thought it was the weakest. I thought a different match was the weakest. But,
okay.
What about you, Otto? What do you think? What would you rate that match?
I don't know. I would like to say it out of a 0 to 10. I'd give it a 6. Good start. Kept me interested to keep watching. So I'll go with that.
No, like I said, Matt Cross won. Even though I think that Ninja Mac was probably the more interesting character, right?
Yeah.
True.
His gimmick was better.
Yeah, better gimmick, obviously. I wonder who it is under that mask. Because like I said, he's like a little fat dude, but he's like really athletic. And so my mind kind of wanders as to like who could it possibly be somebody, right? That we just haven't seen.
Some OG, right? From way back in the gap. Who knows?
All right. So then after that, boom, obviously we get commercial break, come back. We get the Sinclair Monster Corporation. And that is, if you know wrestling.
That's my favorite team.
They're funny.
Well, I know you love the porn stars because that is Jasmine St. Clair, the former adult film actress.
Oh, I could have sworn I recognized the name. Holy shit.
Yes, because she used to be in ECW. So she was an adult film actress.
Okay.
And she went to
Right.
ECW.
Yeah, from ECW and then the porn. True.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she's there with her buddies. Congo Kong, who used to be in TNA. He made some TNA appearances, and I think maybe in AEW. Don't quote me on that. He was a fatter before. He's lost some weight. So Congo Kong, who has like a I want to say almost a Kamala-ish gimmick, though
Yeah,
not that
right.
extreme.
Kamala's way better.
But he is gigantic. Holy shit.
I would say like it's a cross between Kamala and the Missing Link, and I know that's going really fucking old school, right? But so you got that. Then you got this
Built
guy
like Viscera, but a lot more lanky.
yeah. Then you got this other dude called Mr. Smiley who wears a mask with a smiley face, but he's got
Mr. Happy.
Like, Mr. Happy, yeah, that's what it is. He's got to be like fucking what, like 500 pounds?
They said 6.
I know they said 6, but it's wrestling. You know, there's no way.
They always exaggerate. Yeah.
But he was a big fat dude, just like this big.
Great gimmick. Mr. Happy. Come on, that's funny as fuck.
And he was like
Guys are
dancing. He was doing the little fucking dancing shit.
Yeah,
You remember, have any of you played Manhunt? Like, these guys look like they came out of that video game. It's crazy.
Yeah. So they come out. Jasmine gives her a little spiel how she's gonna, dominate the company. Last week she had a quote unquote meeting with Big Vito, the private investor in the limousine. So they're hinting that she gave him fellatio in the limo.
Strongly hinted at.
Yeah, well, last week they strongly hinted even more, but this week they.
There's a recap of a strong hint.
Well, no, because last week she goes in the limo, and then when she came out, like they're like, "Oh my God, is she wiping her mouth? What's on her chin?" Like they really played it up. And again, I think that's the benefit of being on YouTube. Like they don't have to really worry about the censors. They're saying the F word. They're like fucking,
everybody's swearing. Yep.
And it's not excessive. It's not like it's like F this, F that, F that. It's just like it makes sense for them to have swore in that moment, right?
Yeah.
And
Cosmic Vader, you're right. Like you can sense Vince Russo wrote all of this. Like it's his style.
His fingerprints are all over the show. So they gave their promo, and then immediately they go to the ring. They got a match between Congo Kong and Willie Mack. And despite what Music Master says, Willie Mack does not look like Eric July. He's not as hairy as Eric July.
We finally get to see Willie Mack.
Willie Mack, Congo Kong. I think this match was one of the better ones. Two big guys, just two big brutes going out there and just smashing into each other, right? It wasn't fancy. There wasn't a lot of high flying, not a lot of fucking
power slamming.
Yeah,
no.
It was just
Powerhouses.
All impacts, all fucking
some good outside interference.
Yeah, Mr. Happy, outside interference. Congo Kong gets the win. Unfortunately, Willie Mack is defeated, which again, Willie Mack, I think that's the other problem with JCW, right? As much as everyone has a gimmick, and I kind of like everybody there, no one has that look. Like if you took all the JCW wrestlers and lined them up, right, and you started asking random people what they did, they probably would have no idea that those guys were like, they do not have the bodies of wrestlers. Like I don't think there's a single guy, maybe one. There might have been that one guy who fought the zombies. Like he looked like he was built.
Yeah.
But everyone else is just like a fat, drunken, slobbily looking dude, right?
Or like kind of a skinny high flyer type.
Yeah. So it's like either like
ECW,
anorexic
ECW
or
like
fucking fat, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But unfortunately, Willie Mack comes up short and he gets defeated. Again, I think this was a really good match. I would say it is probably the second best match of the night, if you really ask me.
Yeah, it was a good match.
What do you think, TJ? Give us some more thoughts on this. Fantastic. TJ's great with the commentaries. He says he'll be right back. I always throw it to TJ without realizing that he left to go take care of something. So what did you think? Who did you, going into this, who did you think was going to win? Did you think Willie Mack was going to pull this off, or did you think Congo Kong was going to win?
No, I saw Willie Mack taking it. I mean, he just seemed like the better wrestler, whatever. Just in first impression, I mean, the Congo Kong guy was really big, tall guy and everything, but you say he had lost weight, so he was very
flabby.
Yeah. But yeah, it was. I liked it. I mean, I like at a scale, I give that one an 8. That was a good match. Two big guys, like I say, two big guys just slamming on each other. You can't. That's a good match. And then Mr. Happy was hysterical. I mean, that's a big fucker, man.
Yeah, Mr. Happy's. So good match. I think the only downside with this match, right? If I'm gonna do the what's his name scale? Who the fuck's it? Come on, the guy from the wrestling magazine. Shit.
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck.
I've read a wrestling magazine since I was a kid.
He's the one that's always giving like 5-star matches, and people go like crazy over. Anyway, like if I was gonna like really like complain, I don't think there wasn't really a story to the match. It was just two guys beating the shit out of each other. It wasn't really like
they didn't seem to have a past.
Right? Yeah,
there's no grudge to settle or anything. No.
So, boom. After that, commercial break. Come back. We get Stephen Flo and Cocaine. They're in the hallway doing a promo. Because again, Big Vito has told Stephen Flo he's got to fight Cocaine. He's got to whoop Cocaine's ass for doing drugs. Drugs are bad, children. Because drugs are bad, can't have drugs.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine does a big old thing of cocaine, and they agree that they're going to go out there, despite being friends, despite being buddies, they're going to go out there and blow the fucking roof off of the arena tonight and give it their all, and they're going to have a match, right? Which, man, knowing that this was Russo booking, right? Knowing that it was like a Vince Russo booked show, the moment this promo hit, I was like, damn, one of these guys is going to turn on the other, right? Like, the anticipation of like one of these guys turning on the other one was thick because that's Russo booking, right? Like it was like, right. I'm used to watching wrestling. I'm used to like how the stories go, and like Beefy was talking about how it's predictable, right? So like, you tell me that two guys that are friends are being forced to fight each other, and I go, one of these guys is going to turn on the other, right? Like,
yeah, you can smell a chair shot from a mile away.
Yeah. Do they fight Ricada? No, they were sharing. It's crazy. Like the fact that they get away with this, right? Like they do not shy. This isn't like, oh, he's messing with some white substance. No, they're like, the guy's doing fucking cocaine. Look, yeah, for the line. Like they just go in with it. And
oh yeah,
it's like I said, it's good because they're on YouTube, so it's good. But I think at some point, right, like, if they ever want to break out of the indie and to like actually be taken serious, like a mainstream, like there's certain things like the cocaine gimmick has to be retired or changed. I could see them like sending the guy to rehab, right, or something to like change up his gimmick,
right,
or give him like a right to censor thing where like he
yep, that's what Vince Russo would do.
Well, I mean, they have to do something. Again, like, for now, it works and it's acceptable, but there's no way they can be like, hey, we're going to go to, like, Madison Square Garden for a thing. At Madison Square Garden, cocaine versus Willie Mack. Like, no. Like, the fucking parents...
Snowflake.
Yeah, Snowflake. So, boom, we had that. Then we have, which I think was the worst match of the night, came up next. We had the Red Mexican C.J. Dirk and Lester Legend. Now here's one of the issues I think JCW has, right? The announcer said Lester Legend. Then he said Luster. The ring announcer said Lester. The commentary team said Luster. Then if you watch the match, the graphics said Buster.
Oh no, I didn't pay that close attention.
So I was like, because I was trying to like figure out who these guys are, right? Because I was really like trying to pay attention and be interested in the show. And so I was like, I don't know, like, what is his name? Like, because I think his name is supposed to be Luster Legend, like he's lustrous, right? But he looks like Sheamus's drunken uncle, right? Big dude.
Yeah, he did
fucking
remind me
mutton
of
chops.
Sheamus.
And he was partnering with CJ Dirk, and they were taking on the Outbreak. Barnabas Bizarre, which is like a Timu James Mitchell, if you know the reference, right? If you know who James Mitchell is. He was basically that. And he's got two guys.
Really hard if he came out of the House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't remember what the names were, but the team is called the Outbreak, and it's two super skinny white dudes with zombie makeup. And when I say
One of
zombie,
them's name was Abel.
yeah, I don't mean like they were.
I believe
like
it's Cain and Abel.
Yeah, it wasn't like painted face green. No, this was like real, like in depth zombie makeup. Like they were in the chair for like an hour, like getting like really good looking zombie makeup on these guys. And they were doing some like weird zombie shit. We're like, walking around, but the match itself wasn't that good. Like it was a lot of like, oh no, the zombie's gonna bite him. Oh no, the zombie's gonna scratch him. Oh no, the guy's scared of the zombie. And it's like,
yeah, that gimmick at the end where he's got to give him a potion or he can't get back up. It's like, really?
Yeah, it felt very carny, felt very indie.
They have a killer mist. The finisher is the mist, both of them, and then that's
it's a double mist, and it paralyzes you. And then he got this antidote. Barnabas has to give you an antidote from the deep in South Uganda or some shit like that. That he got it. It's one of those things that's like at a one-off. It's like, oh, that'd be like a funny little thing, but like they're really pushing them as like a legitimate team.
If this keeps on, it might get stale. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like for mid card or like lower, like you could have these kind of matches, but there's no way you could have this like they're fighting for the championship and they're like not doing any moves and they're like barely moving around the ring. Like,
I mean, their zombie choreography stuff was good, but that's not a move. You know what I mean? Like they weren't really doing. Yeah, like they weren't doing anything. It was weird.
It's like the Jesus wrestler. The same idea. Like, have you seen the Jesus wrestler?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like with zombies, right? Like with zombies, all they got to do is tweak the gimmick just a little. All he's got to do is say like these are two indie wrestlers that got infected, so they could still do the moves. Like it's still in there. Like their brain still, like in the Walking Dead, how like they could still do like some stuff, or like in certain zombie movies, like the guy's still mowing his lawn because he mowed his lawn every Sunday, and in his brain it's still in there, even though he's a zombie.
It's George Romero,
yeah. All you gotta do is something like that, where like you say like these guys were like indie wrestlers that were infected with the zombie virus, and so like they could still do moves, like so like they're acting like zombies, but then suddenly like, oh my god, the wrestling instinct kicks in and they're doing like moves, so you could do like both of it, right? But they were just doing the zombie shit, and I think that's going to get really stale and really fast. Right?
Yeah.
Nerdette says, "What up, nerds? We're wrestling nerds."
Nerd.
So I think
one of the zombies, like their brain wakes up and then they start doing a suplex city. That's peak fiction right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like something like that would work. But yeah, this was like, to me, was the worst match on the card. The audience seemed to kind of appreciate it. Me, not so much. I was like, not for me. Like I said, you could tell it was real carny shit. In the words of Cornette. Right? And then, of course, boom, commercial. Come back, Big Vito segment. We got Big Vito and Violet J. They're still arguing about who's in charge. And again, this was another funny segment because he's like getting the tour of the backstage area, and then Big Vito's like, "Well, where's my office?" And Jay's like, I didn't think of that." He's like, "Well, I'm gonna take this one." And he just fucking walks in and closes the door on Violent J.
Oh, look at all the nice desserts.
Yeah.
Just took it.
And to me, it feels like they're playing up Big Vito being the investor so much that I feel like there's going to be a swerve coming, right? That it's not going to be Big Vito. They're like, Big Vito's been pretending to be the investor, and then we'll have the reveal of Russo like 2 or 3 weeks later, right?
Did you see Russo is in the comment section too?
What? I didn't look at the comments because I was watching it.
I was curious. I wanted to see how what people thought about it, and oh shit, Russo right there, pinned even.
He's out there fighting. He's fighting in the comments. Fuck
He's
you
fighting
guys.
on the internet.
Oh no.
He's sparking out.
Yeah. All right, so then we got Jeeves versus Mike Rogers. Okay. Now Jeeves is the butler of some other wrestler. What was his name? Colin something or another. Anyway.
Yeah, the guy that was up in the announcer booth.
Yeah, basically their American champion has like his own little like servant dude, his own Virgil, right?
That match was funny.
Okay. So you guys might not be aware of this, and the commentary team only mentioned it once. But Mike Rogers, that's not his gimmick, right? Because he doesn't. When I say Mike Rogers, it's a Mr. He comes in like a Mr. Rogers gimmick. He puts a chair down. He sits in the chair. He put on the little Mr. Rogers sweater. Then he changes his shoes and everything. He did the whole Mr. Rogers gimmick, but that's not his gimmick. Do you guys know what his gimmick is?
Yeah, it's multiple personalities or something.
Yeah, it says in the title card, the man of 1,000 gimmicks. So it's like Mick Foley
every
on
match
steroids.
he comes out as a different gimmick. Last week he was a pirate, and then a couple of weeks ago he was something else. So like every match he's going to come out with a different gimmick, which again I think is funny and it's real indie. It has a real indie feel to it, but I think it's not marketable and it'll eventually grow stale, right?
Right. He's got to have to pick one eventually. Like that Mr. Rogers one's a good gimmick.
Yeah, it was. The only other problem I had with that, right? And again, this is no knock against the wrestler, right? Because there was pretty decent wrestling match, but it had a very indie wrestling feel to it because they were yelling at the audience a lot, right? And the mics weren't really picking up on it. So you had like the wrestlers yelling at the audience, which is what they do a lot at indie shows. But when you're on TV, you don't do that, right? That's not a thing that like, you're supposed to do when you're on a TV show. So it had this very indie wrestling vibe to it.
Right.
So I think that kind of took away from the match. Because again, like he was interacting with the audience. He's like, oh, this isn't really friendly. He's not a good neighbor. And like he was doing like the whole Mr. Rogers gimmick. But it was really hard to hear him because his voice wasn't carrying over everything that was going on in the arena. So for me, I think that kind of took away from the match. What do you think, TJ? You said you liked the Mr. Rogers gimmick.
Yeah. I also like the Steven Lanudo said it best. I didn't think of it that way, but holy shit, it's true. It's like Geese Howard and his butler. And the funny thing is the butler is plotting against the main guy. So it's literally the same story. Because Geese Howard, the king of fighters, his butler is plotting against him. That's the story. So I can see the parallels there.
What about you? What did you think, Autoy?
Yeah, I mean, I like the gimmick a lot. I mean, but the idea of 1,000 gimmicks, that's going to die, like you say, that'll die fast. But it's a good match. I mean, they, other than that, it was, I thought that, they did a good job.
You know what would be funny, though? If they did, remember that one Royal Rumble where Mick Foley came in as like Mankind and he got thrown out, and he came in as Cactus Jack and he got thrown out. And he came in as True Love. Yeah. Now imagine like this Mike guy gets into a feud with somebody, right? And they book a battle royal, and then you just keep throwing Mike out, and he just keeps coming. He's like the only two people in the battle royal are Mike and all his gimmicks, and then this other guy. I think you could have like a funny little thing for that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, Mike Rogers has been eliminated, and then like, who's the next guy coming out? It's like Mike the Pirate, and they're like, what? Like the next guy's like Mike the Fireman. Like, I think that could be a funny little segment, but not something that you long term. Again, it's like you could see that there's good ideas, but then like, no knock against Russo, because obviously Russo came into the company and this shit was all happening before he got there, right? So I guess over the next couple of weeks, I want to see how he takes the things that are kind of carny and like makes them more professional, more TV friendly, if you will. Yeah, indies can
You
be
get the
fun,
same.
beefy, but that's the thing. Like, they don't want to be. Obviously, they're bringing in Russo, so they don't want to be an indie company, right? They
Yeah.
want to like try to make that transition to what you would call a national company, right? So
Lucha Underground was the same. The moment Russo stepped in, it became a whole different show.
it's the mud show. You can say, Tony. I bet Shitstain will make them look even more indie. Ah, come on. Damn corny. You're a corny fan, Cosmic. I love Jim Cornette, but I think he's set in his ways a little too much sometimes. Because like if you watch, and here's the funniest thing, right? Like go watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling, right? That was Jim Cornette's federation during the 90s. Watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling. He has some of the hokiest, craziest shit on his show. He had a fucking mummy in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, right?
Oh,
Like
he's even worse than Russo. Holy shit. Okay.
so it's like for him to talk about like other people's bookings and stuff, like he did shit. He pushed the envelope. He had I don't know if you guys know, but the Gangsters, they debuted in Smoky Mountain. Did you know that?
Well,
I'm trying to think of who that is.
What the hell's his name? There's Muhammad and come on, New Jack and Muhammad.
Oh, New Jack. Okay.
I remember New Jack.
So they
ECW,
debuted. Right? Yeah, they debuted in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and their gimmick was that because they're black, they wanted affirmative action, so they would always beat their opponents with a 2 count because it's affirmative action. So they would only have to pin their opponents with a 2 count. And they really they played it up like they were like, yeah, fuck you guys, fuck you crackers. They were like talking about all the like Black Panther guys and like all the like like the black terrorist people. Like they were like they pushed it so far that the stations were threatening
New
to
Jack
cancel.
would be so good at that.
Yeah.
He would be like, New Jack was great, man. He was nuts.
Yeah.
JCW, yeah.
So I'm saying, like, so corny coming out here and saying shit about other people's bookings. Come on, it was legendary. It was cosmic, but I'm still saying, like,
he's a bit of a spurg too. He does annoy me. Like it was fine for the few moments I listened to him, but then he spurred out way too much.
His hate for Vince Russo is legendary, but also sad at this point, right? Because like Russo's just like, man, me and Cornette don't get along, and it's fine. Like I do my thing, bro. He does his thing, bro. And then Cornette's like, fuck him. I hope he dies.
Exactly,
I'll rape his family. Like dude, like Cornette, calm fuck down. Like, yeah. Like you talk about a one-sided beef. That's a one-sided beef.
That's
like,
it. True.
Anyway, we come back. Jeeves loses to Mike Rogers after his guy came in to help him, and then Jeeves still fucked it up. Mike Rogers with the win. So that was again not being familiar with anybody, but it wasn't predictable. I thought Jeeves was going to win because they had his guy, was in the fucking announce booth. He came and he helped them. They were really playing it up. Like the Mike Rogers, obviously, he's like a joke guy because he's got the man of 1,000 gimmicks. So I thought, there's no way he's gonna win, right? Yeah, Corny, he has no enemies. Corny would murder Russo, and he would think he was justified for doing it.
Yeah.
All right, commercial break. Come back. Big Vito and Outbreak. So Barnabas. He shows up in the bathroom with the fucking zombies while Vito's trying to take a piss. And that was just an awkward segment. Like, he's like, what the fuck you want? He's like, we want what everyone wants, upward mobility. He's like, I just want to take a piss. Like, get the fuck out of the bathroom. Like, it was just really weird. So, the fact that they were there and they're doing a segment between those guys and Big Vito tells me they're going to push the zombie guys, right? You agree, disagree?
Sounds about right. Like, and it sounds like something they would do.
Yeah.
And the main guy is entertaining enough. I think they'll be able to pull it off.
Well, yeah, the main guy, the Barnabas guy, who he looks like fucking like a ringmaster, but like evil, and like I said, little James Mitchell. I think he's a good manager, and I think give him another wrestler, like a regular wrestler to manage, he'll be okay. And maybe that's what they're gonna do. Maybe they're gonna get rid of these zombie guys and keep him around.
Yeah,
Right?
That's possible.
Then we had the world champion, or the JCW world champion, which is also very bold. I don't know if you guys understand this, okay? But in wrestling, you're not supposed to have a world championship until you're a national federation, right? It's like almost an unspoken rule in wrestling. Like indie companies don't have world championships. Like say Detroit Wrestling, right? Detroit, they would have a Detroit title, or they would have a like Detroit Championship Wrestling title, right? But you don't have a world title. Like, because even back in the Gap, you had the NWA world title, the WWF world title, and that's it. Like all the other small companies didn't have world titles. So the fact that JCW is actually like ballsy enough to have a world championship was kind of weird. But they got it. And their champion is Too Tough Tony. And he took on Suicide. And yes, that is the Suicide from TNA. TNA's Suicide.
There's a deep cut right there.
Yeah.
I recognized him straight away. The gimmick.
Yeah.
The mask, you know.
Yeah. Once I saw that, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I the name didn't ring a bell, but once I saw that outfit, I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Okay, I remember that guy. X Division champion.
Yeah, it's weird though, because he was Suicide and then he became Maniac because Suicide wasn't TV friendly.
Right.
So they made him change the name.
Yeah,
and then he went back to being Suicide. And also, there's like 7 dudes that have been Suicide. So
it's like Tiger Mask.
Yeah, but Tiger Mask is a good gimmick. That's like Suicide was like a video game character came to life that like never really did anything. Yeah,
I think the outfit is nice. That's probably why it lasted.
So Too Tough Tony versus Suicide. This was a rough one for me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but the moves, the wrestling moves were good. The punches sucked. The punches were the
that was the
drizzling
big
shit.
problem with that. Yeah, it wasn't intense enough. And you would think it would be, based on who you're dealing with.
Well, it wasn't even intense. Like go back and watch it again. Like there's a shot where he throws Suicide in the corner. He gets up and he does the punching in the corner spot, right? And they zoom in, so the camera, the good camera work, by the way. Let me just say, I've watched a lot of indie shows where it's like a static camera in one spot, and you don't get like this. The cameraman, I don't know where he was in the crowd, or if it was like a fucking drone or what they were using, but it was good camera work, right?
Yeah.
And so the camera gets in there, right? The camera's like right on there, and you could just see that he's not hitting him at all. Like, it was the worst, like.
That's what I meant, yeah.
And then when they're in the ring, like he was like punching him, but it was real slow, and you could tell like he was barely like tapping him. Like it didn't look good. Like whoever trained Too Tough Tony for punches, like he needs to go back and like learn again. They as someone who's done some backyard wrestling in his day and knows like how to take a punch and how to give a punch, that was terrible. It was horrible. Even for an indie show, that was horrible. And you would think, being an indie show, he should have just fucking decked the guy, right? Because no one's safe on the indies. You would think, but no, they were like so great fucking gimmick though. If you guys don't know, Too Tough Tony, they play a song about drinking. He comes out with a fucking bottle of Bacardi, opens that bad boy up, walks around the ring, and he's pouring Bacardi into people's mouths.
It's like Steve Austin, but times 10.
Yeah. And then his finisher which is super
his
fucking
finisher.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
It was
and
the
then-
Oh my
most
God, that was
ridiculous
terrible.
thing I've ever seen.
That shit is all over
Terrible.
Twitter, by the way. He's the guy. I think you guys will recognize him. He sets his fist on fire, and then he punches the guy.
Yeah. It was, and then you could see like he sets his fist on fire, he punches Suicide, and then you could see him like shaking his hand violently to try to put the fire out because his hand was burning.
He has
That
to,
was
yeah.
really bad.
Well, I'm just saying, like, because what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to put the alcohol in your fist, you light it up, you punch the guy,
Right.
and then if you punched him correctly, right,
Mm-hmm.
the force of the punch should be enough to put the flame out, because
Yes,
the only thing that's on
theoretically,
fire is the alcohol. Your skin doesn't burn on
Right.
its own, right?
So you have a layer of protection.
It's the alcohol and the fumes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would
As long
think
as
that
it lasts.
boom, alcohol, and it should. But no, like he was like, "Fuck!" Like you can see, like it was burning.
It's such a pussy punch. It didn't do anything.
Steven says you should buy Larry Shungite from Eric and make the series. You'll make buku money. I don't want to even get started on the Larry Shungite thing. It was terrible. But yeah, so this match, I really think I like Too Tough Tony's gimmick. I like his entrance. The crowd seems to like him. I think he's not fit to be their world champion. They definitely got to get someone who knows how to wrestle, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you need like a fucking 5-star match. Who's the guy? TJ, you weren't here earlier, but who's the guy who does the wrestling magazine that gives the 5-star matches? Come on, I know you know TJ.
I can't remember.
Fuck, I can't remember either.
Kendrick?
No. What the fuck's his name? It's like a wrestling magazine, and they always give like the 5-star matches. Because that's why they would always make fun of like TNA and stuff, because TNA would be like, look at our matches are 5-star, and then WWF's like, look at all the money we make, fool. Like, get Brian Kendrick? Hell no.
Dave
Meltzer, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not talking about like a 5-star Meltzer scale match, but you need someone who's at least decent in the ring.
Yeah.
And I think these guys, Too Tough Tony's not. He's not there. He would be good again, indie wrestling, and like you're not really taking it serious, and it's just like making a couple bucks. But like if you're really making a go, because remember Vince Russo came out and he said he's going for the WWE. He's coming for Raw. He's gonna fucking put on a more entertaining show than Raw. And I'm agreeing with him so far. Like I found this to be more entertaining than Raw. But if he wants the general audience and the general wrestling world to really take him serious, he's gotta get a better fucking world champion. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I mean, Too Tough Tony doesn't have the look. He's not like in shape. And again, he wasn't really good. Get Doink the Clown. Oh my God.
Dude, yeah.
The original Doink the Clown, I don't know if you guys know, go watch that. You can find it on YouTube. But there's a match between Matt Bourne, the original Doink the Clown, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And if you guys don't know this, but back in the day, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Matt Bourne, and Ted DiBiase were in a group together called the Rat Pack. Okay, back in the Mid-South. They had a falling out. And Matt Bourne has held this grudge since then. It's like 40-year grudge. They had a match, and it just breaks down where like they're literally like beating the shit out of each other in the ring. Like these, and they're old at this point. It's like these two like old like 70-year-old guys like punching the shit out of each other.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Right.
Doink.
So boom, Suicide loses. Too Tough Tony wins. We get one last commercial break and segment. We get another Vito and Violent J segment where basically Violent J just dismisses or not Violent J. Vito dismisses Violent J's like, oh, just don't worry about it. You're doing good, kid. You're great. Here, take my credit card. Go buy yourself a sandwich. Go home. Don't worry about the rest of the show. I'll take care of it. And so Violent J is quote unquote the commissioner of the show. That's like his official position, even though he owns the company, like in reality, right? But in show character, which again, I'm going to give them points over WWE. JCW was completely kayfabe, right? Clearly, no one was going, well, why is the investor talking shit to Violent J? He owns the company, right? They were like, he's the commissioner, right? That's his position. Right. Tune over to Raw, and they're going, Paul Triple H Levesque. And I'm like, no, like Paul Levesque is his real name. Like he's an actor. Like Triple H is his wrestling character. He's Triple H. Just call him Triple H or Hunter, right? Like
they really hate gimmicks over there. I don't know why.
It's so weird but it's weird because it's like if he was like Paul Levesque in like TNA or AEW, I would excuse it because like, oh, this is the real guy that came over, right? Like, but this is the company that you've built your legacy on as being Triple H. And now you're like, oh no, I'm actually Paul Levesque. I've been lying to the audience for all this time, guys. I'm actually, you know,
yeah, all
like we all know that you're not 100%.
All that shit was for nothing.
Yeah.
Now we just get boring old Paul Levesque. Looks like Patrick Stewart, but bigger.
Yeah. So I did, like I said, I appreciate that JCW kept it kayfabe, and so he sends Violent J home, and then we get the main event: Cocaine versus Stephen Flo. The match starts. Cocaine pulls out the pre-match ritual, the big bag of fucking cocaine, and he just slathers that bad boy all over his forearm, and he offers it to Stephen Flo, and Stephen Flo takes a big fucking face rip off the arm, and we're off to the races. And I think this was like the match of the night. It started off a little wonky, a little choreographed, they're trading, like he's kicking, and obviously the other guy's gonna duck, and he kicked, and the other guy jumped over his leg. Like it felt really choreographed, and I was like, oh man, this match is gonna be bad, right? Like
they were trying to convey that these guys are tag team partners and they're used to each other. So there's a storytelling reason.
Yeah, that was good, but like the way they were going about it, like you could tell that those kicks were so telegraphed, right? Like it was like, again, it felt indie, it felt rough, like they didn't, like normal wrestlers, like in the WWF, they would go to the training center and they'd like run through the match several times. This feels like these two guys ran through the match once and then went to work for the rest of the week because they have regular jobs, because they're just regular dudes, right? It's like, oh shit, we gotta do a wrestling match on Friday. But after that, a little initial sort of rough patch, the back and forth, trading back and forth, Cocaine going for the Coke Slam, the other guy fucking flipping out of it. It was good. Slam. I think it was a really good match. I thought Stephen Flo was going to win, to be honest, and then Cocaine pulled it off with the Coke Slam. It's crazy. Cocaine is the god he worships. No, Cocaine is the guy he is. And again, like Cocaine winning again to me was like, oh, like you could have had him lose, and then like you could have set up this storyline where like he lost, and then he kind of like stops being Cocaine, right? But now he won, so it's like, how do you like this guy is obviously over. The crowd loves him. The gimmick is kind of funny, but you really, again, it's not really something you can family friendly. You could have on like a national TV deal, right?
Right. It's okay for now, but yeah, to move on. Yeah.
So then we had the match. Cocaine wins. They shake hands. They're friends. Cocaine.
Oh, you didn't mention what happened to what Vito in the beginning, right? Big Vito went up to Flo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's gonna be repercussions.
Yeah. So and I forgot to mention that when Big Vito told Stephen Flo at the beginning of the show, to fight Cocaine. He said that beat his ass, and if you don't, there's going to be repercussions. And at the beginning of the match, Big Vito came out and reiterated that there was going to be major repercussions if you don't beat his ass, right? So obviously he didn't beat his ass because he lost. Now this was weird because Cocaine leaves, right? And the announcers are like, oh, he's giving Stephen Flo his moment. And I'm like, that's not really what he was doing, right? Like it felt like the match was over. Like, so the guy went to the back and then Stephen Flo was just hanging around. And then wouldn't you know it, guys, Sinclair and her two goons show up, Congo Kong and Mr. Happy, and they beat the shit out of fucking Stephen.
Out of my boy.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of him. And then Cocaine comes back from the back, right? And this is where I thought this was the moment. I was like, oh, Cocaine's kind of like a monster. Those guys are kind of monsters. I was like, he's going to run into the ring and he's going to fucking turn on Stephen Flo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But surprisingly, no, like Cocaine goes in the ring. And again, like, so he doesn't betray Stephen Flo. So he's like, oh, the obvious is he goes in the ring and he saves Stephen Flo from the beatdown, right? That didn't happen either.
Then you came too.
They swerved me, bro. I'm a mark, and I'm like, oh shit. They like, because my expectations were fucking subverted. Because he didn't fucking swerve and turn on his guy, and he didn't save his guy. He just ran in there to get his ass beat too.
Yep.
And that's how the show ended with Congo Kong and Mr. Happy beating the shit out of Cocaine and Stephen Flo.
And doing the happy dance.
So it looks like Big Vito has recruited the Sinclair Monster Corporation as his heavies.
His enforcers.
Yeah. So I'm guessing.
They're definitely heavy.
Yeah, they didn't announce anything. But I'm guessing that next week's show, we're probably going to get a tag match between those two guys. That's the obvious, right?
Yeah.
Congo Kong and Mr. Happy.
Versus, yep.
Their two biggest guys versus two of their smallest guys.
So, like I said, overall, the show was fun. Like, I'm watching it on YouTube. I didn't put it at 1.5 speed. I was watching it at 1 point speed. I watched the entire thing. Like, I didn't fast forward. I didn't skip anything. When it came to Monday Night Raw, I was like, the entrances were real short. That's another thing, guys. You don't understand how fucking nice it is when they go,
thank God,
coming to the ring, Congo Kong, and then he walks like 10 steps and he's in the ring, and they go, okay, coming to the ring is the next guy, and then that's it. Like, WWE is like, coming to the ring, Shinsuke Nakamura, and then like 15 minutes later, he finally gets to the
fireworks in the, near the Titantron, fireworks in the entranceway, and then fireworks in the ring. Holy shit.
So I appreciate that. Like I said, it was real quick, real good. I watched the match, watched all the matches all the way through, wasn't bored, wasn't looking at my phone, wasn't skipping around. Overall, like I said, other than the announcers needing to be a little bit better with their delivery, other than some of the carny indie stuff that I think they need to kind of tweak, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a great show. I would give it a 7 out of 10 as far as overall show, and definitely I'm looking forward to watching the next episode, right?
Yeah, I'm hooked.
So, what would you say, Alta? Overall, what would you say the show was for you?
I liked it. It was fun. Like I did watch it at 1.5 speed. So the zombies are moving really fast. But I liked it. It was fun. And like, I picked my favorite guy, I'm ready to go. I'm invested. So yeah, bring on some more.
What about you, TJ? Overall, what would you say? Any complaints and any bad moments? Anything you think they need to add to the show?
I think just punch harder, be more violent. That's it. That's all they need.
Yeah, some blood would be nice.
You bring back that ECW energy. Like, I know they want to prove that they're good wrestlers and shit.
Well, I was shocked at that because if you guys don't know, again, JCW it can get pretty out there and violent and like rough, right?
Yeah.
Again, it was an indie show that was like the ICP guys, and they're doing their shtick, and it's like we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want, balls to the wall type thing. And so I was surprised, like there was not a single chair shot. There was no like
but it
foreign
was
object.
good though, even then.
Yeah. Well, again, not having those things, right? Like, so if every match has like chair shots and fucking insane shit, then like it kind of gets old and stale.
That's
right. You gotta sprinkle it in.
You gotta save it. You gotta make it have an impact. That was the other thing. WWE, they're doing like all these moves and like body slams and off the top ropes and shit, right? And people are popping up. Like everything felt like he hit a guy with a fucking superplex off the top rope, and like boom, both guys are like, like it felt like it was real. Like it had that air of realism. Like, oh, this is what would really happen if you body slam the guy on the floor. Like he wouldn't just pop right back up afterward, right? Like,
oh god, it reminded me of how WWE and even AEW they would do this shit, where somebody gives the other guy a finisher, and then he gets up, and then the other guy who got up gives the other guy a finisher, and it goes over and over and over, like forever.
Yeah, there was no kickouts of finishers or nothing. Like, boom, finisher.
No, you get hit with the finisher, you're done. That was also refreshing.
Yeah. The only thing I think they need to add, and this is going to sound weird coming from me when I just complained about the 20 minutes of promo on WWE, but I do think maybe they need to have some like pre-match promo. Maybe, guy comes out there, talks a little shit about his opponent. Doesn't have to be 20 minutes. We don't need like a 15-minute, like just if you watch, and that's the thing, go watch some old fucking wrestling, right? Again, Mid-South, WCCW, fucking JCP. There wasn't like 20 minutes. It wasn't like Dusty Rhodes would come out and give you a 20-minute promo. He'd come out and give you like 2 minutes. Boom. Right, hey, I'm gonna meet Ric Flair at the Omni this week. I'm gonna be jiving all over that guy. And Ric Flair, I'm coming for you. And ain't nothing gonna stop me. Boom, and then he's out. And that's it. Like that got you excited. Like, oh shit,
His hard time speech was 3 minutes.
Well, like those speeches were memorable because they were so like abnormally long and abnormal out of the norm, right? So I think they need some more like promo, right? Most of the segments on this show were focused on Big Vito and the investor thing. So I think maybe next week, like
Barnabas was built for doing promos. They should have made him do promos.
Who?
The zombie guy. Like the leader of the zombies. Barnabas. Yeah.
So, sprinkle in a couple of promos, a couple of things like that. There was no backstage interview segments or nothing like that. So, and there was no, like, next week, this is happening. There was no, like,
no
hype for the next show, right?
No, it just ended.
So, I think those are, like, some criticisms. Again, I like the show. I think it was really entertaining. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's fucking perfect. It was the greatest wrestling show ever.
But there's potential.
Steiner math, yep, we need that type of shit. The Steiner math speech.
No finisher spamming. There wasn't. The Iron Sheik or Abdullah the Butcher had 7-minute matches, and they were in an attraction. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to have like matches that are special, matches that are, make things be valuable, right? I think, again, that's like the failing of WWE. You have a guy like Kane, and you go, look, it's Kane, and then he has a 20-minute match, and you go, well, I guess he's not like a monster, right? Like,
yeah.
On the indies, you have the lack of squash matches, right? Like, the people like poo-poo all over squash matches and like these short promos and stuff, but that was the standard, and that's what like gets people over, right? Tony, if you spend your time around Eric, you'll probably find lots of beetles to eat. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next show. I'm looking forward to more JCW. I don't know what the the rules are, right? But do you think we would, because they're on YouTube, do you think we'd be able to get away with like EFAPing the show?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's already on YouTube, right? It's
Yeah.
so, or could we at least do some of it, like the best couple of matches or
Just
something?
highlights, maybe.
Well,
Just
I
so we
think
wouldn't go over fair use too much.
we should try it. So next week, next Friday, we'll try. We'll bring the show up and we'll watch it and we'll comment over it. And I think that'll. We'll be the JCW guys, right? Like, you know, like there's channels like that are promoting like WWE and they're like the top 10 WWE matches. Like, we're gonna be the JCW guys. We're gonna jump on the bandwagon. We're gonna be the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Content.
But like I said, I really loved it. It was, I think, what, an hour and a half.
Hour and a half,
Right.
yeah.
So it didn't overstay its welcome. It didn't have a lot of boring segments. There was not a lot of downtime. There wasn't a 5-star match. There wasn't a like, oh my God moment. Right. But still good, still entertaining. And I'm there. I'm there for the cocaine.
Good storytelling again. That's all. Every federation needs that. Yeah, that's all you need. Writing 101.
So, like I said, because it was an indie fed, I'm wondering what's going to happen now with the contracts, because that's one of the issues with like indies, right? You can't really do long-term booking if you don't have anyone under contract, because you don't know if the guys get poached or if the guy's just gonna fucking flake on you or whatever, right? Or like hold you up for more money. So I do wonder, with Vince Russo now coming in, are they gonna lock down like some of their top talent, quote unquote, right, or some of their more popular guys? It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what they do and how they grow the company. But I'm all for it. I'm ready. I think the WWE needs competition. It won't be JCW, but hey, it'd still be something fun to watch.
Right.
If you haven't watched TNA lately, that wrestling completely fallen the fuck off. So I could see JCW sliding in to eventually become a third place contender in the American wrestling scene behind AEW and WWF. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be worth a watch. Now the bigger question is: Do we watch NXT, Raw, SmackDown, the other all the other 20 hours of wrestling every week?
No.
Yeah, I'll probably watch Raw every week just to have sort of a barometer of the two companies, right? But I don't think I'm going to be watching TNA or AEW. I tried watching AEW before. Not a fan.
Where's TNA broadcast now? Is it still on Pluto? Like, do they have the new stuff, or is it just the old stuff? Because they used to mix in new stuff with the old stuff back in the Gap. But, like, I don't know if that's still where they're located or not. Like, I would watch that. I used to watch it. Like I said, I like the old stuff. Maybe, I would take a peek if I knew where it was.
I'm gonna be honest. When I tried to get back into wrestling a couple of years ago, someone hooked me up with like a website. They're like, "Here's where all the wrestling's at. You can just like watch it here."
Okay.
Because it was the same way like that. Like you was like, "Oh, where do I watch it?" Like, "Oh, you need this cable network and that network, and you need that and that and that. You have a subscription to here and subscription to like, fuck."
Right.
Like WWF did the same thing. It was like, oh man, it was like, oh, you had to have a subscription to like this network to get the Raw, and then you had to like watch SmackDown was on this network, and then like NXT's on this other thing, and then you had the WWE network.
Right. Like it used to all like their shit used to all be on Peacock, but that deal is up.
I'm looking at it now. Sportsnet, AXS TV, and they even have a TNA Plus.
TNA Plus. I ain't paying for that shit.
Are you sure? Are you sure that's the wrestling show, TJ?
No, it
Ah,
is.
yeah.
Look at it now. It's
I'm
TNA
sure you
wrestling.
are. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, baby. I thought this was wrestling. It said TNA Plus.
The name is suspect.
Well, it always was. That was like the joke. Because
Right.
Jeff Jarrett's retarded. We'll call it Total Nonstop Action, TNA. Don't you get the joke? Like, yeah, we got the joke. We're not 12. But that's why
Okay,
they eventually
It's
changed
funnier
it.
when you're 12.
Yeah, well, that's why they eventually had to change it because they became Impact Wrestling, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where the impact came from. All right.
Yeah. Is it called Impact still, or is it called TNA again?
No, it went back to being TNA.
It did. Oh, okay.
Because I think when they because they got bought by Panda Energy, then they got bought by another company. Like they were getting fucking back
Oh
and
yeah.
forth.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
The fact
Then
that
I remember like Jeff Jarrett, because Jeff Jarrett started TNA. Then eventually he left TNA to start his own company with Blackjack and Hookers. But then that company folded and got absorbed into TNA. Then Jeff Jarrett was selling like gold or something.
Yes.
He was. It was like GFW gold.
Wow.
You could buy gold because it's gonna be worth money. I don't know where they're broadcasting, but like I said, not to harp on it too much. JCW, it's good wrestling. You can watch it on YouTube. We're gonna be watching it. We're gonna try to EFAP it, and if that works, then I guess we'll EFAP it every week, right? If it doesn't work, then we'll figure something else out. Anything else? I don't want to like. This isn't going to be like a 3-hour show, right? So, anything else you guys want to say about the wrestling we watched this week?
No, I don't think so.
You, DJ, anything?
I'm the biggest fan of Congo Kong. Okay, that's it.
He's got a good look, right? I think
Right.
I think he needs to like his facial expressions need work. He needs to do more
Oh yeah.
because he's just like a dude who's painted and like he's just doing regular stuff. Like he isn't like playing up the idea that he's like this
It's
weird
a
monster guy.
Yeah, Kamala was
Mr.
great.
Happy.
He sold
it's
that
more
shit.
like a monster.
Yeah, Mr. Happy sells it. Like, oh, look at me. Like,
Yeah.
Congo Kong, not really. Again, I would say, hey, go watch some old like Missing Link matches or what the hell's his name? Kamala and all those guys, right? From back in the gap. It should be good. All right. That's it. That's the wrestling show for this week. We're going to be back next week with more wrestling action. Like I said, hopefully next week we'll be EFAPing. If it doesn't work out, then we'll just have like maybe stills or something to go along with it so you guys can see what we're talking about. But I'm looking forward to it. Any predictions going forward? Obviously, I've already predicted that there's going to be a tag match in the future.
Yeah.
And
That's the only thing that they really set up. They didn't really set anything else up.
And I do have this really weird feeling that the Big Vito thing is going to be a swerve somehow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think because Russo's with his ego, he's got to be on screen at some point. You know, like there's no way, dude.
He's
No
going
way,
to pull
bro.
off a Vince McMahon. It was me all along. You know, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, other than that, like you said, they really didn't set nothing up, so it's hard to be like, oh, this is going to happen next week or this. Like, not a lot of storylines right now, except for like I said, they kind of set up the Congo Kong, Mr. Happy, and the what the hell it's Cocaine and Steven Flow, but they call it Flow Cane.
Okay. Yep.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
Crazy names. they're at least they're memorable. You know, at least they're not Steve Smith versus John. You know.
Dog box.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, everybody. That's the show. We'll be back next week to talk more wrestling. We'll be back tomorrow to talk some video games. And hopefully you have a good evening. And apparently there's like a show called Biggest Problem on or something, so maybe go watch that. Until next time, love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.